You also said something, you really painted the picture that they're in the desert and there's scorpions everywhere. So the scorpion didn't play into it. You just were painting a picture. There was a lot of sound effects and a lot of scorpions if you go back to the original video. Hello everyone and welcome back. As you know, the NASCAR season ended about a week and a half ago, I guess, when this video comes out. I know you've been sad since then.
Devastated. Honestly, if you were to ask me when it was the last date, I have no idea.
I will say too, if you hear something obnoxious in the background, it's our dog who is just being such a jerk about licking her peanut butter pad.
She typically waits until we need her to be quiet to be the loudest.
Yeah, so she wants to be a part of this, so she'll probably get like a director's credit or something.
You'll hear her as soon as she finishes, she'll like tiptoe.
Yeah, a little tip tap.
My fingernails on the counter, but soon it will be her fingernails on the floor.
Alright, so what we're here to do is back at the beginning of the chase for the championship, the playoff system, we did a prediction video where I just poured through data. I stayed up for 3 weeks just running every scenario I could, whereas Jordan just rolled dice and
I didn't
said,
realize that you put that much investment into this.
I didn't. So. It's called theater. I think you'd notice if I stayed awake for weeks at a time.
Brandon, I don't know what you do. I'm asleep.
So we both made our predictions as to what we thought were going to happen. So today we're going to go through what did happen to see how close we got. So first off, we both chose who the first 4 eliminated were going to be. So for the first 4 out, I chose Brad Keselowski, Mark Truex Jr., Harrison Burton, and Joey Logano. So you chose Denny Hamlin, Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and Tyler Reddick. What was funny is both of us chose people who'd go to the Final Four, which was mine, Logano, yours, Tyler Reddick. So we really messed up with those choices. The first 4 out, though, were Keselowski, Truex, Burton, and Gibbs. So I got 2 right, and you got 1 right out of those ones.
Okay.
So there's 2 points for me, 1 point for you. The next up was the spoiler. So every year there's a spoiler who is not in the playoffs, but they steal a win. So I chose Kyle Busch. You chose Corey LaJoie. Neither one of them won.
Wah, wah.
Some of the spoilers were, I think I wrote down all the spoilers on here, but it was Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse, and Ross Chastain. So those were the correct choices. Kyle Busch, though, did finish in 7th, so I gave myself a point because he was closest to that.
Okay. So
going to the next option, it's who's going to make it to the Final Four for the championship. I chose Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Christopher Bell. Whereas you chose Ryan Blaney, Truex, Logano, and Suarez. The Final Four were actually Blaney, Logano, Byron, and Reddick. So I only got the 1 right with Blaney, and you got 2 right with Logano as well as Blaney. So, and then we'll move on to the champion. So with the champion, I chose Kyle Larson, you chose Daniel Suarez. Neither one of them made it into the Final Four. Larson did finish 6th in points though, where Suarez finished 12th in points. So at the end of it, we tallied up 5 points for me, 3 points for you. Now there was one other category, and I felt like it wasn't fair to really throw it in because it was just pure chaos. And that was, what is the story of the playoff system? For me, I chose that it was going to be Silly Season, which you said should be renamed Confusion Era. I haven't heard back from Steve Phelps with NASCAR about that, so I don't know if they're going to take your suggestion with that. But I chose that. It did get kind of crazy because Corey LaJoie basically just got removed from his rider. Well, I guess they swapped with him and with Justin Haley. So they swapped rides. So it was like kind of crazy, but it wasn't like like Chase Elliott leaving or something. Yours was that there was going to be, out of the 40 cars on track, there was going to be a 30-car pileup You also said something, you really painted the picture that they're in the desert and there's scorpions everywhere. So the scorpion didn't play into it. You just were painting a picture. There was a lot of sound effects and a lot of scorpions if you go back to the original video.
I'm going to have to rewatch because I don't remember any of this.
So there was not a 30-car pileup at Phoenix. Then you also said that coming down to the finish, there were going to be 10 wide and that Daniel Suarez was going to go across the finish line on his roof and win a championship.
That is ringing a bell now.
He did not. I will say probably the top story of the playoffs, I guess the two, were Denny Hamlin and Front Row Motorsports not signing the charter agreement, which maybe they didn't do that before the playoffs. But that really kind of started becoming a reality during the playoffs, as well as Joey Logano went into the playoffs being like the 15th best guy. Like I had him out in the first round. He won first round, survived second, won in third round, went and scored the championship. Everyone started complaining because they said Joey didn't deserve it. But I feel like you're Team Joey. So I feel like...
Yeah, I like his glasses. I'm Team Joey's glasses.
Yeah, but I felt like it was interesting going through this. I always find it interesting whenever you just blindly choose stuff and then you actually pour through the data as well.
You should see my fantasy football league. I'm 0-10.
I think at this point.
0-10.
So, but yeah, so thanks everyone for joining and watching the first video and the second video. I felt like most of the time people have these cool like bets or challenges, but when it comes to choosing stuff, neither one of us are that confident. So really, we didn't have anything to wager. So I guess that's how this video ends.
I'll give you a cool, crisp high five.
Well, there you go. A crisp high five.
There we
So
go.
thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next season. Boogity.